Hello, I'm Owen Connor,
And I'm Gretchen Winter.
curators at the National Museum of the Marine Corps. In our previous episode, dedicated to the history of rum punch, we discussed how a classic colonial recipe may have formed an important part of the founding of the Continental Marines. For this episode, however, we're choosing to highlight something a little more traditional in the history of the Corps: hot buttered rum.
One of the older traditions of the Commandant's house occurs each New Year's Day morning when the Marine band serenades the Commandant on his balcony. The ritual is said to have been started during the Civil War era by the leader of the band, Francis Scala, on New Year's Day. The Commandant of the time was Colonel Jacob Zeeland, who in turn created the tradition of inviting the bandsmen in for hot buttered rum and breakfast.
This uniquely Marine celebration has occurred since the 7th Commandant to the 38th Commandant today. The history of hot buttered rum likely dates back to the colonial era. At the time, rum and sugar were plentiful, and taverns had numerous types of hot concoctions such as flip, hot toddies, and other rums for fresh, cold, and weary travelers. The drink almost always calls for some variations of rum: sugar, butter, water, or cider, and fragrant spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, or cloves. Later versions even included a scoop of ice cream. Hot buttered rums could be made by the cup or by the kettle for an entire band of Marines.
During the 1940s, hot buttered rum experienced an unexpected revival, likely due to the popularity of the 1937 novel Northwest Passage, which described the drink in detail. Americans once again ordered the cocktail and continued to do so in various forms throughout the tiki bars in the 1950s.
So, how to make hot buttered rum? For our version of hot buttered rum, we're going to stick with a more traditional formula. You will need the following ingredients: 2 ounces of dark rum, 1 tablespoon of compound butter, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, and hot water.
The key ingredient to this cocktail is the compound butter. To make this, you need 1 pound of unsalted butter, a teaspoon each of ground cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. You warm the butter and then mix all the dried ingredients together, place it in the refrigerator, and remove it 30 minutes before use.
Wow.
Yeah.
To make the drink, simply place the tablespoon of compound butter in your mug.
Oh, okay. Yum. Okay. Yeep. Plop. There we go.
We pour 2 ounces of good dark rum,
Whew. Smell that rum. Okay.
a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup,
And the water. What's in simple syrup? How do you make simple syrup?
Simple syrup is a mix of sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, at a 1-to-1 ratio with hot water.
And then you top it off with hot water.
Did you do that?
I did. Mix it up till it's all melted. Ooh, smells like rum. And enjoy.
Happy New Year from the National Museum of the Marine Corps.